D7 Protocol. There are things the world was never meant to know. Things buried in time, myth and shadow. Creatures whispered about in legends, dismissed as folklore or nightmares. But some are real, and some never stopped hunting. D7 is the division that finds them, a covert black-budget agency.
Subject breach protocol initiated.
Operating beneath the surface of every major government.
Contact may be close.
D7 captures and contains anomalous biological entities, cryptids, unknown species, and threats beyond comprehension. Some are kept alive, most are not. Their motto is simple.
Let me out.
Contain what shouldn't exist. Eliminate what can't be. The following is one of their lost records. Recovered, redacted, and sealed until now. The wind howled across the desolate hills of southeastern Turkey, carrying centuries of dust past the forgotten monoliths of Göbekli Tepe. Buried beneath layers of stone and time, the site whispered secrets older than civilization. Dr. Mikhail Alenko, a wiry Russian archaeologist with a fascination for the occult, led a Turkish excavation team. Their tools clinked rhythmically against limestone as they uncovered a sealed subchamber. Its slab of stone was blackened, etched with sigils. At its center, an obsidian sarcophagus, seamless and cold. Glyphs curled like veins. A spider-human relief sprawled across the lid, its carved eyes seeming to watch. Bones hung in translucent webbing, some human, some not. "Did you hear that?" Emery muttered. Scratching came from within. Alenko dismissed it, but his hands trembled. 3 days later, a blacked-out U.S. transport arrived. No insignia, no names. The sarcophagus was taken, the site buried, and those who spoke vanished. A delivery truck overturned, buried in snow. The driver, mummified in webbing fused to steel, eyes sunken, flesh parchment. No cargo, no tracks. Whatever had been in the truck was gone. Then came the vanishings. Hikers, campers, a family. A search and rescue team of 6 was dispatched into the mountains. Only one returned, Cal Avery, a grizzled veteran with haunted eyes. He was found crawling from a cave, his body covered in shallow, claw-like scratches, his voice barely a whisper. It whispered with our voices in the dark. It knew our names. D7 opened Project Asylum, the entity's codename, Riven. Corpses wrapped in warm, serrated webbing, organs missing, blood untouched, puncture wounds, a homeless man, a child, a family. Panic spread. Investigators disappeared. D7 activated Argus, a quantum AI scanning every connected device. Argus triangulated the source, an abandoned rail junction near Prospect Park. D7 dispatched the Hunters. The Hunters were engineered, bones reinforced, muscles bio-enhanced.
Initiating Series 7 Biogenesis Protocol. Subject viable.
But the price? Instability.
Subject experiencing Phase 3 mental destabilization.
Glitches.
Termination advised.
Some hunters turned feral in the field. Others vanished.
Still breathing.
Their clearance tags pinging in places they couldn't possibly be. Captain Rourke Hale, 3rd-gen hunter. Scarred, ice-cold. His team, Maravos, tactical, ruthless, athletic, and highly capable second-in-command.
They're watching again. Good. Let them.
Santos, heavy weapons specialist, a mountain of a man whose neuroburn was already fraying his sanity. He laughed too loudly, twitched when he thought no one was watching. Ishmael, comms and recon, a ghost of a man with an eerie stillness.
Ishmael's signal is active, but he's not responding.
Rumors swirled he was a product of the cryptid gene program, though no one dared ask.
Don't shut it off. It's still in there.
Drexel, the team's medic and AI interface, half human, half synthetic. His cybernetic implants linked directly to Argus, but they sparked unpredictably, a reminder of his fractured humanity.
It's getting harder to tell which parts are mine.
0400 hours. They descended.
Sector clear. Maintain altitude. Surveillance sweep in progress.
Argus confirms hostiles ahead. Minimal life signs. Stay sharp.
Argus flagged 6 life forms. Only one remained when they arrived. A man. Webbed, motionless, eyes wide. Then, his jaw twitched.
Help.
Drexel scanned. No heartbeat, no brainwaves.
Rourke, it remembers you.
It came from the dark, fast, silent, unseen. Riven, a pale human torso, fused with backward arachnid limbs. Its face, empty sockets, and needle fangs. It moved like a phantom. One blink. Santos fired. Screamed. Lifted. Empty. Mara triggered the grid. Argus
system online.
Warning. Interference detected. Drexel's implants sparked. Ishmael convulsed.
It's inside us.
Riven watched Rourke.
Hello, Hunter.
Argus computed.
Adaptive, sentient, origin, unknown, cryptid, probability, 31%, extra-dimensional, 62%.
The tunnels decayed into unmapped branches. The air grew thicker, heavier, saturated with the stench of decay and something else. Something sickly sweet and cloying.
It's in the damn air. It's in us. Something's growing in here.
Sweet rot filled the air. Webbing grew denser, stretching across every cracked pipe and shadowed alcove, shimmering faintly in the beam of their tactical lights. The walls pulsed faintly, as if the very brickwork had been infected with a slow, organic heartbeat. They had found it, the lair. Hundreds of bodies, strung up like trophies, hung suspended in the vast chamber. Some in uniforms, desiccated husks of D7 operatives from forgotten missions. Others, misshapen, not human, their limbs twisted at grotesque angles, skulls elongated, features alien and terrifying. The air was still, oppressive, a silent testimony to Riven's insatiable hunger and methodical cruelty. "This is a nest," Drexel muttered, his voice barely a whisper, his implants flickering wildly. His face was pale, sweat beading on his forehead despite the chill. Then, their own voices echoed back, a cacophony of their past. The sounds swirled around them, disorienting, designed to break their resolve. Rourke, this way. The voice was eerily like his own, yet laced with a chilling, predatory eagerness. Rourke felt a cold dread seep into his bones. His training screamed deception, but the mimicry was perfect.
Weapons up. Something's watching. Don't blink.
Ishmael, less disciplined, more susceptible to the psychic assault, spun. His weapon, usually steady, wavered.
It's already here.
His voice was a strained whisper, his eyes wide with a terror that surpassed any battlefield fear. Before Rourke could shout a warning, Riven struck. A blur of motion, a flash of razor-sharp limbs. Ishmael fell, cleanly severed, his body collapsing in a spray of dark blood and bone. Rourke froze, the weight of the loss hitting him like a shockwave. Behind him, Drexel screamed as webbing yanked him upward into the dark, replaced by the sickening sound of snapping bone and tearing flesh. Riven was everywhere, in the walls, in the air. Its limbs flashed between beams of light, a blur of hunger and rage. "We're not dying in this pit!" He charged forward, firing blindly into the dark, lighting the tunnel with muzzle flashes. Riven shrieked as rounds ripped into the webbing. "Come on! I'm right here!" Rourke turned back once, to see Santos drop his gun and ignite an incendiary grenade at his chest harness. Only Mara and Rourke remained, back to back, their weapons raised into the oppressive darkness. The stasis grid, already flickering, sputtered. Argus's voice crackled, distorted by the psychic interference.
Detonation required. Manual only.
The cold, logical truth of the AI's voice cut through the horror. One of them had to stay. One of them had to die. "I'll do it," Mara said, her voice steady, already moving toward the console for the core bomb. She had always been the pragmatist, the one who saw the necessary end. "No, I finish this," Rourke replied, his hand outstretched, stopping her. His voice was raw, laced with the grim resolve of a man facing his final battle. This was his hunt, his responsibility. He would not let it become hers. The chamber began to hum, the air growing heavy with static as the core bomb initiated its sequence. Rourke ignored the mounting dread, focused only on the task. He moved to his wrist-mounted datapad, uploading final data to Argus. Neural maps, weak points, movement patterns, every scrap of intel D7 had on Riven, now condensed into a single, devastating package. This was his last contribution, his legacy.
This better be worth it.
The air shimmered. The blue light of the stasis grid intensified, but it was failing. Riven's form, a towering horror of segmented limbs and distorted humanity, materialized in the pulsing light. It moved with an eerie grace, its sensory spines twitching, undoubtedly picking up every flicker of Rourke's dwindling life. Argus, softly.
Goodbye, Captain Hale.
The AI's voice, for the first time, held a note of something akin to solemnity, a digital farewell to its last active hunter. Rourke gripped his combat rifle, the familiar weight a small comfort. He stepped forward, away from Mara, towards the center of the nest, towards Riven. He would face it head on. He would look it in its dead eyes and pull the trigger. The blast tore through the ancient sewers, a concussive force that rattled Brooklyn's foundations. The earth groaned, and tons of rock, brick, and rebar cascaded down, burying the subterranean horror in a colossal tomb. From the surface, it sounded like a distant, muffled thunderclap. D7 moved with characteristic efficiency. Rourke Hale was listed as KIA, his sacrifice lauded in a classified commendation. The nest collapsed, case sealed. The official report declared Riven neutralized.
Containment successful. City secure. Riven neutralized. No further threat identified.
The city was safe. They were wrong. 2 days later, a janitor in the forgotten maintenance tunnels beneath Manhattan's financial district found it. Not a body, not a clue, just warm silk webbing stretched across a rusted subway maintenance door. It was warm, serrated, unlike anything he'd ever seen. He cleaned it away. A week later, a child vanished from his Brooklyn bedroom. No forced entry, no struggle, just 2 puncture wounds on his pillow, the fabric stained with a faint, glistening residue. The parents were inconsolable. Police, baffled, classified it as a runaway. Argus logged the anomaly, its internal probability metrics always running, always calculating.
Riven active. 87% probability.
But Riven was supposed to be gone. It was becoming the city itself, a dark, pervasive consciousness woven into the very fabric of New York's hidden depths, mimicking, evolving,